one that is really tough to wrap your mind around. Prosecutors say 3 children ages 12 to 13 are responsible for the death of a lifelong D.C. resident. Reggie Brown, he was killed last October in an alley near Georgia Avenue in Northwest D.C.'s Brightwood neighborhood.
On October 16, 2023, my life was taken away by blows. That night, as usual, I was walking peacefully along Georgia Avenue, a route I knew like the back of my hand after living in this neighborhood for about 64 years. Despite facing some difficulties, I felt safe and comfortable on the streets that had watched me grow up. I never imagined this will be my last walk. You don't know me, but it's necessary that I explain this just a bit. For years, I struggled to get around due to my disability. Additionally, I had trouble engaging in conversations and relating to people. It wasn't uncommon for me not to be very likable, though. I was quite peculiar, even though I only had 2 fingers on each hand. But did my appearance warrant all the harm and suffering that I went through? That night, I wasn't thinking about much. Truth be told, I can't even remember what I was thinking about anymore. I just remember walking through my usual place, doing my usual routines, until something happened. Suddenly in the darkness, I saw the silhouette of a young man approaching me. Before I could react, this man, who seemed to be a little more than 20 years old, lunged at me and grabbed me roughly by the neck. He had such strength that he slammed me against the wall, causing me to fall to the ground, disoriented and dazed. My vision was blurred. I didn't understand what was happening or why this stranger had attacked me in this way. What had I done to him? Did he know me? Or did he just choose to attack me at random? I don't even know, and even now, I still do not know. But it was that vile act that started the series of horrors, the worst of humanity, that I experienced that night. In the distance, I saw a group of young girls approaching, maybe 12 or 13 years of age. I felt relieved not to be alone. Someone was coming to help me. Oh, how wrong I was. They were just kids, so why should I be suspicious? As they got closer, I noticed they were talking and laughing among themselves in a way that seemed unsettling, almost mocking. I was still terrified from the initial beating, and my assailant was there, right in front of me. Then I heard the sweet voice of one of the girls asking him, "Can I fight him?" And that man responded right away with a simple yes. I can't explain how, but I knew in that moment, perhaps I would not see the light of day again. Suddenly, one of them lunged at me, and before I could even react, I felt a strong push that made me lose my balance and fall to the ground face first. The impact left me dazed for a moment, and before I can regain my composure, the other 2 girls joined the first one, surrounded me and started to kick me mercilessly. I tried to cover my head with my arms, but the blows kept raining down from all directions. I screamed for help desperately, but it seemed like no one could hear me. The pain I felt was beyond words. I tried to roll away to escape, but they kept kicking. The brutality of the attacks was so overwhelming, I felt like I was being torn apart. I tried to shield myself as best as I could, but the blows just kept coming from all sides. And at some point, the 12-year-old girl grabbed my belt and started hitting me with it. I even saw her recording everything with her phone as if she were watching a show, not a brutal meeting. From what I've learned later on, one of the girls told the authorities that 2 of them didn't want to join the fight. But the man had allegedly threatened them with a weapon he supposedly had at his waist. That explains why some of them kept attacking me even though they seemed reluctant to do so. At some point I lost track of where I was. There was only pain and desperation. As the blows continued, I started to think, would I die here, lying on the street, unable to do absolutely anything? My strength was fading, and everything became blurry. And honestly, I just wished for it all to end. Then one of the girls, the youngest one, 12 years old, came closer and hit me on the head with my own belt. I felt a sharp pain and the taste of my own blood in my mouth. Tears filled my eyes as I faced my own mortality. How could these girls do this to me? As they were beating me, one of them exclaimed, "It's dripping," referring to the blood oozing from my head. At that moment, I knew these girls had no mercy. They didn't care in the slightest about what they were doing to me. It was as if they had lost all trace of humanity. Finally, the girls stopped, and to my surprise, they quickly walked away, as if they had done something terrible but felt excited about it. I laid on the ground, dazed and sore. I tried to get up, but my body failed me. I felt myself fading slowly, and I just put my last thoughts towards my family, wondering if they would ever see me again. I don't know how much time passed. My body was found around 1:00 a.m. on October 17 near an alley in the state of Georgia. I had died from those beatings. My dreams and my life had ended in the cruelest and most unjust way. No one could understand nor wrap their heads around how 3 girls can do something like that to a person like me. What drove them to commit such an act of violence? Did they not care that I could not defend myself at all? Before long, the 12-year-old girl and the 2 13-year-old teenagers were arrested by the authorities for my brutal murder, located half a mile from where I succumbed to my injuries. What's strange about this whole incident is that none of the girls who attacked me had any previous criminal records. It's like they did what they did just for the thrill of it. The 3 young individuals are facing second-degree murder charges and will be tried as juveniles. And I can only hope and pray that justice will be served, and those who brutally and unjustly took my life will be punished. The only wish that I have for my death is to serve awareness about the violence that young people, even the youngest, are capable of committing. Perhaps then, tragedies like mine can be prevented in the future. But for now, all I can do is rest in peace, hoping that my family can find some type of comfort. Who am I, you ask? My name is Reggie Brown.
Just 2 hours ago, we spoke with a woman who identified herself as the mother of the 12-year-old who was here in court today for an initial hearing. She says that her daughter is also the 12-year-old who was shot in the leg Friday morning on Peabody Street. She didn't have any other details to share just yet, but said that she and her family are praying